Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Good morning. I'm so happy to be with you again. I will start my speech about the point that yesterday I talked about, which is calling for establishing an international tribunal specialized for the environment issues. International court that should follow all these countries and companies who attack our environment, who attack our mother, the earth. Unfortunately, until now, we see a lot of crimes around the world committed by those countries, and especially the multinational companies, and none of them been accountable. So what is the important thing that we should rise and we should call for is justice, is accountability. They do all their mass destruction because they are away from accountability. So let's be together for raising this voice. And I really hope that one of the outcomes of this conference to be calling for the international court specialized on the environmental issues. I was in Honduras and Guatemala 2 years ago with a delegation with my colleagues, Nobel laureates, Nobel women laureates, Shirin Abadi, Shirin Abadi from Iran, Rigoberta from Guatemala, Judy Williams from the US. And we visited Honduras and Guatemala and to support those activists who work in the environment. And we saw how huge the destruction that was caused by those multinational companies, especially in Latin America. And most of them, they've been supported by the US, Canada, and China. The same thing that is happening in our countries. By the way, when we talk about climate change and how these multinational companies attack our earth, our environment, how they cause the global warming, etc., but also they cause wars. Unfortunately, if you look for behind every war around the world, especially these days, you will see that there is oil company behind it. What is happening in Libya now? It is not just what they call it civil war. There is a struggle for freedom, justice, and democracy. But there is fight, there is war between multinational companies that want to steal the wealth of Libya. In Yemen now, the war now that is waging in my country. What is behind this war is the will of the rich countries, Saudi, UAE, Iran, to steal this country and its wealth. So it's very important for all of us to be one hand and one voice against injustice, calling for accountability. Accountability is very, very, very important. And also to say the truth, to be with the people, those people who sacrifice for freedom, for justice, for welfare, for democracy. Because with real democracy, we will not allow these kinds of multinational companies to make, the chaos in our countries. Many in this world, especially in underdeveloped countries, characterized by hard life, lack of basic needs for daily living, insecurity, the absence of rule of law, and armed conflicts, believe that talking about climate issues like global warming and ecosystems destruction is less significant than their daily suffering. Some perhaps see in these problems issues that concern advanced countries which have already overcome challenges of building of the rule of law and citizenship and establishing democratic foundations that enable their peoples to choose their rulers, hold them accountable, and change them based on commitment to public interest and communities' priorities and aspirations. This view is short-sighted and emotionally charged. The climate crisis, global warming, and threats to ecosystems caused by industrial pollution and environmentally unfriendly ways of life are indeed of paramount importance. The attention paid to climate and nature is clear distinction between two ways of thinking and two ways of life. The first way of life is purely materialistic, being governed by only profit-based savage capitalism and does not align with the nature and the ecosystems, while the another is a vital lifestyle aimed to maintain, harmonizing, and integrating with ecosystem rather than destroying it. So, with the advent of this a broad and vague concept, the world has experienced distinct setback in levels of freedom, rights, and democracy, and civil, environmental, and feminist organization network have also been severely affected as a result of the rise of racism in countries of the civilized West and in the birthplace of democracy. Today, we are witnessing the worst chapter of relevant regression. So here, with especially the young people, I came from a country and from a region that suffered from injustice, from dictators, from daily killing, from a great corruption. And we focused on one thing: how can we organize ourselves as young people, as a people who carry the responsibility to free our countries, not just for us, for the second generation, for the coming generations, for the future of all humanity, but we should carry the responsibility. So we broke all the fears around us and we went to the street, regardless of all the violence that we faced from the dictators. We faced their violence, their bullets, with flowers, with slogans, with peaceful way. They committed huge crimes against us, and they still, until now, committing huge crimes against us. They waging counter-revolution against us. What you see now in our countries, in Yemen, in Syria, in Egypt, all this wars is waged by the counter-revolution, by Saudi, by UAE, by Iran, because they want people like us to shut up, to give up, and to don't continue our rule, our commitment, and to don't achieve our promise for people for freedom, justice, and democracy. So the same fight that we are doing, and we didn't give up, you should have the same fight against those multinational companies, against your government that didn't fulfill their commitment to stop the climate change. We have the same battle. Our battle for freedom and justice equal our battle for stop climate change. We have the same problems, but we don't have the same ability to raise our voice to stop climate change, because we have the first priority now to stop these dictators. So now you, all of you should be strong, should be in the first line of sacrificing for saving our Mother Earth. And you can do it. Don't think that it's wasting time. No, you don't waste your time. It is your duty. When I started dreaming and I decided to make a revolution against the dictator, my father told me, Tawakkol, no, don't do that because he will kill you. I told him, my father is a great man and he taught me a lot how to be strong, how to be honest, how to fight for justice. But I told him, Father, you taught me how to be strong. You taught me how to be in the front line. What I am doing now is that something that you should did it before me. So don't make the next generation blame you, because you people inside this hall can make a great effort to stop climate change. You have freedom of expression. You can make huge demonstrations around the world. My daughter last year went with her school lighting this scandal for climate change, and it was huge international student demonstration at the same time. Don't think that this simple, act was something go for nothing. No, it gave a very, very strong message to your governments and also to the multinational companies. So again, rally yourselves, work with each other, and make your voice very loud, and take this issue as your personal issue. And don't allow anyone to stop you. And don't allow yourself to think about that you are entering a failed battle. No, you will win this battle. All the human beings will win this battle. Again, be brave. It's very important. And don't just speak about companies, about your governments, just in a very simple way. No, tell the truth and find those people, those companies by names who behind all these disasters. Accuse them and call for accountability. Thank you so much.